Today we're going over some rolling footage where we talk about the importance of clearing the feet, framing, and not going belly down. If you want me to review your rolling footage, check out the link down below. So first off, in this passing sequence, what kind of stops you here is him being able to connect his foot to you and you not addressing that. So you see here, you start passing, and it looks like you're kind of trying to go for a knee slice maybe with this knee, but he's able to get this foot on your leg right here. And the thing about people being able to connect their feet to you is that someone has the most ability to push force into you with their foot. Legs are one of the strongest parts of their body, and the foot is at the end of that. So it's the easiest for them to push you away. So whenever anyone connects their foot to me, I'm always trying to clear that off and then continue to pass. Right here, I would be trying to clear that foot off. As you try to just keep passing, he's just able to keep pushing you away with that foot, and it's hard to really put pressure. You're not going to out-pressure someone's foot. You're not going to just be able to outstrength that. You're going to have to try clearing that off. Yeah, here is kind of a weird sequence that happens, but something you want to think about is you don't really want to show someone your back, because there's this idea if you show someone your back, you are putting yourself at some kind of risk for a back take, potentially. So yeah, you're kind of showing him your back here, and that's always going to be a little risky, especially if you don't really know what you're doing in this situation. So I would definitely be careful of that, and he's able to start kind of take advantage of that, and he comes up. And another thing, just kind of first reaction, and this is hard, this is a split second moment, but you want to think about maintaining distance. You see he's coming up, you don't have anything to stop him from just connecting to your torso and pinning you. So you want to think about using all your limbs to make distance. So that means trying to make distance between your torso and his torso here. So that'd be your arm framing. You're starting to bring your legs back inside. Here you kind of just stay on your elbow here, but yeah, because of that, he's able to just connect to your upper body here, and now it's too late for your legs to get back inside, and you're pinned. Now another thing here is once he gets you here, I am not the biggest fan of the way you're defending this side control, because in general, if you're being pinned, the whole idea is once you're pinned, their goal is to attack your limbs, right? They take control of your torso, and then from there they can go off to the side, attack your limbs, Kimura, armbar, what have you. So you don't want to do anything where you're giving them your arm to attack, right? So right here, what you end up doing is you reaching over here, you're kind of just extending your arm all the way out, just kind of giving him a limb to attack. I know there is some submission here where you could put his hand in your leg or something, but especially against someone bigger than you, I don't think that's a very high percentage thing to do. So I'd be trying to keep this arm tight to me. So before you start turning to your side, I would have had this arm tight, try to do a traditional knee elbow escape rather than trying to go for this attack here, because in side control, it's not really a place to attack. You're going to be a lot better served if you can just escape from there and then start attacking from a different position. Yeah, because now you're here and you're trying to attack this, but you're not really able to grab your own thigh here. And you see now it's kind of now he's able to start taking advantage of you being out of position here. He dives his arm deep into your armpit here and kind of forces you to turn away. And yeah, another thing is once you start to turn, you want to make sure that you come up to your knees fast. Because I think you did the right thing turning here, but you need to come up to your knees fast, because the worst thing that could happen is you getting put into a belly down position from the back. So as soon as you go here, you want to quickly, because you might have to belly out to go to turtle, but as soon as you're here, you want to come up to your knees immediately so you don't get put belly down. Essentially, right here, you have some time, and now it's too late, because now it's way there on your hips, and it's going to be hard to get back up. And another thing with defending the choke here, because you started to attack the choke, where you want to grab when defending the choke is at the thumb. Not literally just their thumb, but grabbing their hand at what's called the thumb line, just this area, just pulling down. The reason for that is because it's the end of the lever. You're going to be able to put the most pressure at the end of a limb versus like midway through, for example. Making eye contact with the camera. And yeah, he's able to start locking this up. I mean, it's a pretty tough position to be in once his belly down. So this is kind of cooked. Close-up angle. Yeah, so you come on top. He's too focused on grabbing you here versus framing you away. So you're just able to pass. Like, he's not framing you away at all. He's just letting you, like, you know, control his upper body here. So you get a great pass. And yeah, now he's able to reach around your head and go. It starts looking for a guillotine. I mean, initially, like, something you could have done, if I'm being, like, picky, is, I mean, you could have brought your, essentially, you just want to think of, like, how can I control their hip while still defending your neck right here. So if you could have brought, like, this elbow to his hip, use your hand to, like, fight his hand, get your head free before he fully locked up the guillotine. I mean, the guillotine, like, isn't a real threat from here, but especially against someone bigger, it can be pretty annoying if they go for it. Yeah, now once he gets to this, like this, now it's a little more hard to get out of it. But you end up doing, like, the right thing, in my opinion. You start, like, going to north-south. But what I just think is you could have committed more to the side. So you're bringing your right arm to his right hip. And I think that's the right thing to do. But essentially, like, what I would have done is I would have tried to become, like, here you're perpendicular with him. Like, I'd try to get, like, parallel with him. And then just start, like, pushing my head forward, like, towards his hips. The reason for that is, if you just try pushing forward right now, you're going into his elbow, which, like, what we said before is, like, you want the end of the lever. So you want to be pushing your head into, like, where his wrist is, so that now you're starting to, like, put pressure at the end of the lever, and you're going to have a lot better chance of breaking that. Yeah, and you always also, from this position, is you want to be putting pressure on his hips, because you don't want him to turn up to the side like he did here. So you want your arm pinching one side of the hips and your head pinching on the other so that he can't turn. But yeah, you put him back down. Yeah, if you ever want to break this, essentially what you want to do is kind of just, like, you know, don't do this too fast because you don't want to hurt anyone, but you essentially want to turn your hips and put all the weight at, like, the end of their hand right there, just to kind of, like, it's a soft wrist lock that they kind of have to, like, take their hand off, or else that's going to hurt. So that's something you can do to, like, break that frame. But he's also kind of grabbing the pants and no-gi, which is a little no-go. Yeah, he's able to start coming up, and that's not great because now he's able to kind of reverse the position here, which is unfortunate. But yeah, I think those kind of things can be hard against bigger people, like when they just grab a headlock on you like that. But yeah, I think if you went to north-south and started pushing towards the wrist, you could have got out of that. But all in all, this was a really good roll. You looked really good in it. And yeah, it's looking good.